Okay, so we'll look at No Man's Sky, and specifically my thoughts on the game. Now, this is easily the most overhyped game of the year. No Man's Sky has released to quite a largely disappointed audience, with PC performance problems amplifying a game already blown out of proportion, and it's unfortunate because it really is the fault of fans for hyping up such a small game to a level that it simply isn't supposed to be competing in. Anyway, before I go on, if you're looking for a 21:9 support review, like how the game technically supports an ultra-wide screen, then check out my video on that in the description, or just head over to my channel page and it will be there. So let's have a look at the game and what it's trying to do first. With the devs, Hello Games, being purposely mysterious before launch about what the game really would entail, what people expected from this was left up to their imaginations in many ways, and that was not ever going to be a good thing in the end, as it only set it up for failure, as people only imagined perfection and not reality. A tiny development team had no chance of living up to those heady heights. But admittedly, what No Man's Sky does is still good fun. You have unlimited access to an essentially infinite universe that is procedurally generated and can meet basic aliens and animals on your travels. However, I do emphasize basic there, as it really is the bare minimum, with essentially identical engagements every time you fight or talk or discover other life. The rest of the time you're left to gather resources and build yourself up, with the final aim of, well, that's really up to you. There is a kind of story, but you must have the ability to create your own story if you are going to enjoy this. Otherwise, you're just going to be like, what the hell am I pouring my time into this for? If you can design your own reasoning and backstory to your travels and exploration, then you could be in for a great time. Now, the big draw for people to this game is the idea that they can go anywhere and do anything. Now, as I've said, you can do very little, like really little. It's a closed circle of gather resources, fly around, gather more, find a base, chat to an alien, sell or buy resources, and rinse and repeat, with tiny side stuff like finding crashed ships and learning alien languages. Really, the main thing you're ever doing is just trying to build up your inventory so you can hold more, so you can sell more, and just keep that going in a loop. But this isn't to say that I haven't enjoyed playing it. I've played about 6 hours of this now, and I've loved all of it, but it is now hitting a wall for me. I've lost interest in gathering resources, something that does get dull shockingly fast. Flying about is just, well, meh now, and shooting between moons and planets is very samey after a while. The epic feeling of re-entry is soon lost once you've done it for the 100th time. And the thing is, if this were any other indie game, I'd be like, fantastic. That's all I was looking for. A smallish game from a small development team. I don't expect huge amounts of playtime and stuff to do. However, this is a full-priced game. That means it's on the exact same level as AAA games, and that means I am now going to compare it to those AAA games because that's exactly what it deserves, if that is the price range being charged. And it simply can't compete. It is so out of its depth, and unfortunately is exactly why it deserves the relative backlash it's getting. It should be half the price for what it provides. Now, we also cannot avoid the fact that the game has a huge number of performance and general PC problems either, that show a weak PC port that simply was released way too early. From people being unable to even start the game, to huge FPS issues and large FPS stuttering and freezing, to clunky controls, low FOV settings, menus that were designed for console and had absolutely no thought given to mouse and keyboard, terrible pop-in problems, the requirement to restart the game when making any graphical changes, even changing from full screen to windowed mode requires a restart, being unable to return to the game after tabbing out of it, and so on. There are a vast number of problems that need addressing, which is just a shame. At this point, I can only say that there is a fun game underneath all of this controversy that many will enjoy for about 10 hours or so. However, I cannot recommend buying it at full price and not whilst the issues plague it as they currently do. Now, in terms of the issues, Hello Games are apparently working on fixes, so only time will tell if they will get fixed, and I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they will fix at least the most glaring of the problems. And so I'd say check back in a month or two and see how the game is doing then. Hopefully it will provide a better 21x9 experience with no more stretched menus and HUD for one, and hopefully at a decreased cost. At a current WideAsFcuk score of 3, it's not a bad play at 21x9 currently, but yeah, it has a lot left to be desired in 21x9 terms and general PC terms. Anyway, I hope that gives you a better idea of what this game has to offer at 21x9. Give this video a like if you found it helpful, and subscribe for future info. For any other games at 21x9, head over to my channel, hopefully I've covered it. If I haven't, then leave a comment down below and I'll try and cover it. And if you'd like to donate to the channel, the links to my Patreon page are in the description. See you later.